to round 7 of Gippsland League Footy. And I think before we go on to this week's games, Keith, we should just mention about our great win over the weekend against Central Murray Footy League.
I'm glad you said our great win after I got the email from you which said we were magnificent compared to last year when you said they lost the game with their poor kicking. So I'm glad you're on the bandwagon, you're now part of the team. But it was a great win, a great day, and the players were fantastic. And speaking to Coach Hayden Bergil after the game, and he said every guy did what they had to do to win the game. They all played well, didn't have a passenger, great win, and look forward to going up the ranks further next year.
Yeah, well, first of all, on behalf of the league, congratulations to Hayden and his selectors for selecting such a great team. Also, there were no passengers. I think out of the two teams that ran out in the ground on Saturday, Gippsland League players won every position, and the scores signify that. But a great win, and we're extremely happy. We also had the East versus West concept for the under-18s, and that was a nail biter at the end. I think the East won 9-11 to 9-9. But you could hear the rivalry in the stands between each end of the league, and the players actually got involved in it because there was a bit of push and shove a couple of times, but it was just a few young angry ants letting off a bit of steam. So well done to our league, and hopefully we've got 12 months to brag about it, and then hopefully we can do the same thing to Bendigo next year. We'll move on to round 7, Warragul Traralgon.
Yeah, more important things come up this week. Yes, interesting game this one. Probably an interesting aspect is that the coach of Warragul, George Morgan, was a former premiership player at Traralgon, so I know he is looking forward to the contest. Traralgon have sort of really built up their stocks. It's hard to see Warragul breaking through, but our footy's been such this year. If Warragul's key players can really have a good game there, they're experienced players, Gray, Bradley, Edney, Morgan, those types of players. Anything can happen. They've got the enthusiasm, they've got talent there. It's just a matter of being able to put it together for that 4 quarters. I expect Traralgon will win. I think they've got themselves back on track at the moment. They've got a few folks who were out injured earlier in the year come back, and I'd lean to Traralgon, but Warragul will put up a very spirited contest.
I think we say this every week, but we do sincerely mean it. Warragul has got a young team. We know they're unbeaten after 6 rounds. They haven't won for 6 weeks. But the thing about it is they have got a young side, and all you need is one day where those kids all gel together, and they'll knock off. They'll win more than they'll win 2 or 3 games by the end of the year. I'm tipping Traralgon as well, but at the same time, anybody that takes Warragul lightly, they will lose the 4 points. We'll go on to the next one, which is Wonthaggi Maffra.
Gee, Maffra's been up and down. Wonthaggi started a bit slowly, then peeled off 3 wins in a row.
Yep.
Lost to Traralgon last round in what I understand was a really terrific game, high standard game, right down to the wire virtually. Interesting how Maffra handled the trip. This is, I don't know on this one, Chris, I won't tip a draw. I just suspect Maffra have that hunger to stay in the race and will probably get over the line.
I think I'll go for Wonthaggi purely and simply. It's a home game. They've shown that they're a bit hot and cold, but they seem to come up when they're desperate for a win, and they need to win this to keep in touch with everybody. So I'll tip Lee McDonald and his boys to surprise Maffra and sneak home by a small margin.
Well, I think they're both 3 wins each. It's a really important game for both clubs, as every game is this round. It's a real season-shaping round, as they all are pretty well.
Okay, our next game is Sale versus Druin.
I don't often pick against Druin, but I think Sale looking pretty good, and this is at Sale. Druin quick, Druin get it all together, they can win, but But Sale is a very good side, and a couple of guys I hadn't seen until last weekend. Jordan Dessert at centre half back and Matt Ferguson key forward. They're both great in the interleague. I know your lad Andy got the medal, but gee, he must have just beaten that Jordan Dessert.
Yeah, look, Geordie Dessert was magnificent, and so as were up to 10 other players. I've picked Sale to go through unbeaten, so I have to go for Sale. Drawn have to play at their best to be a show, and that means some of the players that haven't been travelling that well have to pick up. I think they'll make every effort to do so, but Sale at the moment is looking extremely strong, and their key players are very good. So I'm tipping Sale to keep that winning margin going and keeping my $20 bet safe for another week.
Well, we're going to have a tough night at the club on Thursday night, I'd say, Chris.
Certainly. Bairnsdale versus Leongatha.
Yeah. Big game for Leongatha.
Yes.
Only 2 wins, they're probably better than 2 wins, 4 losses at this stage, but that's the reality of it. Big game for them and a big trip to Bairnsdale. Bairnsdale, very competent side too, very good side. Started off well. They've had their last 3 games, they've had a draw and 2 losses, but they've been against Traralgon, Sale and Mafra. But yeah, a really good measuring stick for both clubs this weekend. I'll perhaps tend to Bairnsdale because it's at home, but that's about all.
Yeah, look, I do lean towards Bairnsdale because I think they've got to come back and get amongst the mix. They've had the top 3 clubs they've played in the last 3 weeks, but Gipps at centre in the forward line, he was a ripper on Saturday, wasn't he? He's a big, strong mark, big, long kick.
And quick.
So, and they've got Lukey Dyer, who played extremely well. So, I'll go for Bairnsdale to come back. And before we go on to our Sunday game, we better just let everyone know we're actually at the Family Hotel tonight doing this show. It's where Keith...
In Druin. Major sponsor.
And they're a major sponsor of Druin, so we thought we might just do something different to support club sponsors tonight. The final game we have is Morwell versus Moe on Sunday at Morwell. I think this one, the two local derby, and the 2 teams will be flat out to knock each other off, Keith.
Yeah, it's interesting. While I was at Morwell for the country championship match last week, I did sneak a look at their injury board in the dressing rooms, and they picked up another 4 or 5 injuries against Druin in the previous round. So they're going to be stretched. I reckon Moe might get up on that basis. Morwell were extremely disappointing at Druin. I think they played like a side that didn't expect to win, and I think Moe are starting to get on a bit of a roll, so I'll go for Moe.
Yeah, I think that Moe's got the goods on this one. Moe's actually not, a pretty good team, and they're just starting to get it together. And it's been a hard 2 years for them, but now I think training on their own ground, the use of those magnificent facilities, it must make the guys want to train a bit harder and get themselves fit. And I'll tip Moe to roll the Tigers at Morwell. And I think that's about it for this week.
I think about the only thing is come Monday and we look at the ladder and we'll find a lot of sides in different places to where they were last week. And it's a fantastic competition. So, standing out a bit at the top, Warragul probably struggling a bit at the bottom, but the rest is very open, and I think the challenges will come to Sale as the season progresses too.
Yeah, and I look, as you say, the top and bottom, then the 8 teams in between, there's not much between them, and that's why we're getting so-called upset wins. But I think your tipping is not going that great, and it probably will continue so.
I got 5 last round, plus I bet Gippsland in the interleague. I'll drink to my tips this week. Lovely product at the Family Hotel.
Okay, thank you very much, and we'll be back next week for round 8.